think as soon as we got the nod that we were going to be able to do Thunderbirds on Blu-ray from ITV, we started thinking about doing stuff that would be interesting as extra features.
Swat me, Blighty. Look at that.
Inspired by the Doctor Who Blu-rays, I thought, well, wouldn't it be nice to have a couple of characters watching and commenting on an episode.
Jamie and I were talking about doing something very special for the 60th anniversary of Thunderbirds, and it just seemed a no-brainer to get some kind of new puppet material.
I was so excited that we were going to have the chance to get puppets out for the 60th anniversary of Thunderbirds.
It's always fun when we get to have them come to life one more time.
I think I'd recently seen probably Sylvester McCoy and Sophie Aldred sitting on a sofa and watching an episode, reflecting on it. It was just so lovely. And knowing that we had Genevieve and John to be Penelope and Parker, I thought, well, that'll be nice. Me thinking this will just be a really nice, lightweight piece, very plain set, just have them sit down and comment a bit on an episode. Of course, knowing Chris Dale, he doesn't just script a couple of puppets sitting on a sofa.
We remembered that Justin and Lindsay have several puppets from Thunderbirds, so it made sense to reach out to them and ask them, what could you shoot for us that fits the tone of the anniversary and celebratory mood that we were looking for.
If you're trying to match something that people love, that people know very intimately, it's very difficult.
I feel so lucky to be part of a legacy of people who have had the privilege of working with these puppets. On Thunderbirds, the anniversary episodes, I had the opportunity to work with and learn from both Barry Davis and Richard Gregory, who themselves had worked with Christine Glanville, one of the original puppetry supervisors on Thunderbirds.
Our puppet replicas, they're made off castings that were molded off of the original Thunderbirds puppets. That means you have a good starting point. The face is the right shape, it's the right size, but what ends up happening, even with the original puppets, is that they all look a little different.
The original Thunderbirds crew had 2 sets of puppets, and that's so they could shoot 2 episodes at the same time. So when we were working on our puppets, we had to pick which one we wanted to base it on.
We did implement some more modern technologies like video overlay. I would guess the lens length and camera perspective of the way, let's say, a frame of the original show was shot. We put our puppet head in front of the camera, do the video overlay.
Add more putty to the eye holes and the jaw and the nose, the cheeks. And then, of course, they had a lot of hair in the 60s. In the case of the male characters, so Parker, for example, was wigged using mohair. Cutting, combing, and gluing on the mohair onto the fiberglass head after it had been painted.
Our Scott Tracy puppet, who also turns up in Fabblebox a little bit, his hair is actually original 1960s Scott Tracy hair. Terry Curtis, who was one of the original puppet makers who worked on Thunderbirds, supplied us with this original mohair that we used to wig Scott. So there's a direct connection right back to the original puppet.
For Lady Penelope, and this was the case with all the female characters on the show, she had a miniature wig made of real human hair. Part of the process with her hair was actually adding more wefts to the back and under the net, and basically anything that would add more volume to the hair, and also have it long enough so that it could be styled and curled in that way that only the 60s could do.
Oh, Parker.
Yes, m'lady.
It's time to have the interval, I hear.
Genevieve, Gaunt and John Culshaw have been voicing Penelope and Parker for us for some time in the audio adventures, and for the Standby for Action concert in 2022, Genevieve had voiced Lady Penelope singing Parker Well Done.
I don't believe that John's performance as Parker has ever been seen coming out of a puppet.
This is the first time that their puppet versions were going to be blessed with new voices on screen. And that's a rather lovely thing, because both John and Genevieve, they have a lot of reverence for the original voices.
Something that John and Genevieve are very keen to do with their performances as Penelope and Parker is to keep the sense of the characters true to the original performances of David Graham and Sylvia Anderson. And I think they have succeeded beautifully.
I wanted to take the wonderful performances that Genevieve and John gave and just help them a little bit more to sound like original Lady Penelope and Parker. So I did spend quite a bit of time matching the compression and the EQ until I found that they were quite a good match.
Oh no, Parker.
Goodbye, Deborah. Goodbye, Deborah.
Genevieve did such a lovely job capturing that softness and stateliness of Lady Penelope's voice. And that informed, how I posed her, how I stood her, when she moved her head, and how...
Jeff's not going to be happy about this, Parker.
And Parker, who has always been my favorite puppet to perform, that combination of dignity but also silliness that's inherent in the character, John just captured that so well in the vocal performance, and it really helped inform my choices, especially for those more comedic moments.
But that is to say, it both was and it wasn't, if you catch my drift.
When it came time to film this piece, we had a very minimal crew, and our custom-built lip sync box was actually essential. Just like the original 1960s natterer, it sounds weird coming out of my accent, but the lip sync box they had at AP Films that would take the pre-recorded dialogue and then turn that into electric impulses that would move the mouths of the puppet, we have a modern day version of that. The one advantage of ours is that it actually automatically routes each voice to the correct character.
Parker.
Milady.
And we have a little bit of a special shot in Thunderbird 1's cockpit with the trap door opening. I won't say what it is that's falling out of the trap door because we didn't have this set piece. I used Blender, CG software, and I camera projected cleaned up plate shot from the original show onto basically like a 3D version of the Thunderbird 1 cockpit. And then we did this animation of the trap door opening and the thing falling out. That way we could get accurate shadows. We could match the lighting that was done on the original show. It really does help doing all these digital effects, but knowing how to shoot this stuff practically allows us to do stuff digitally that is kind of more informed by the physical, practical filmmaking.
We just wanted to dust off these characters, give them a little bit of life once again, and I'm very proud with how the project has turned out.
It was such a joy to work on Fabblebox.
Have some fun with Penny and Parker again.
A really nice thing to be able to do for the 60th anniversary Blu-ray.